Hey guys, Garza97 again. This time with a review of the 1/144 scale high grade Zaku 2 J-type, and technically also the S-type and F-type. So for colors, we're getting the typical Zaku colors. We have light green, dark green, very nice shades of green. Absolutely love the colors here. For the hoses, we have gray, and then we have a very dark bluish color. It's kind of like a cross between gray and blue, but it kind of has this bluish shine. So just very dark blue for the bottom of the feet, the legs here, the torso, inside of the head. So overall, it's actually pretty color accurate. And how color accurate exactly kind of depends on which type you want. Because according to the manual, the J type, like this, is completely color accurate, except for the top of the feet, which should also be in that very dark blue / gray. So that's the only color inaccurate thing about that. The F/S type is actually more color accurate depending on how you look at it, because according to the manual, the only color inaccurate thing here is that the hoses should be green. Now, in my opinion, I like the hoses better gray, maybe because I really like the gray hoses on the Johnny Ryden version, but that's just the way I like them. So if you're going for the F/S type, it's safe to say that it's completely color accurate. Then for stickers, there are a few ones that enhance it. We have a black one here and here, black ones to go on the shoulders. We have then one final one to go on the head for the mono eye. Though I have to say, even though this here is a black sticker, behind it is actually the same kind of dark gray as here, because this one actually isn't using the sticker at all, and as you can see, that's pretty much the same kind of black. And then the one really cool thing about this set is we're actually getting marking stickers like you would get with a Master Grade. So we're getting a bunch of really cool stickers. We have two Xeon symbols, one small one to go on the chest, and then a big one to go on the shield. And then we have just a bunch of warning symbols. For example, here on the back is one. That's where this thing, where the bazooka should technically mount on, but yeah, it doesn't really do that. Then on the side here, warning us, well, showing us that there should be a mounting hatch here for the Heat Hawk. Unfortunately, no such hatch exists. I mean, that's really nice, guys. On the other side, the same thing here. An arrow pointing to where there should be a mounting spot, where there should be a hard point, but there is nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not even like a hole that you could drill out. There's absolutely nothing. You're gonna have to drill it yourself. And more about the irony of that later on. And then we also have some stickers with the name on it. And as you can see, there are still a few left. Some more caution stickers. Warning, don't put your head in the thruster. That's a bad idea. Some more cautions here. And then a bunch of names of the mobile suit. Oh yeah, also, the name is right up there. Unfortunately, you only get names, you only get MS06J and MS06F. You unfortunately do not get MS06S, even though you do get the Commander antenna. But regardless, those stickers are really awesome. Onto the articulation. Unfortunately, that is by far the weakest part of this machine. Head goes up, down, rotates around. Arms will rotate around, go up about that far. Shield luckily moves out of the way. But the other side, as you can see, not quite as good. And then the shield is on a hinge, so we'll just rotate around. Then arms will rotate around below the shoulder and also above the elbow. And then the elbow itself is on a single joint for about 90 degrees. Nothing spectacular, it's okay. Hands are on pegs, not on ball joints, as you would expect. As you can see, they're just pegs, so they're gonna go up and down a little bit if you extend them, and we'll just rotate around. Kind of weird, because most of the machines from that time did have normal ball jointed hands. No waist articulation at all, as to be expected from a Zaku type, especially from this era. Legs go forwards. That far, that's not a lot. Backwards, slightly more. That's always a bad sign. If the legs go further backwards than forwards and out. Yeah, did you see that? That's how far they went out. You might have missed it. Rotate side to side a little bit. And also these legs do have the tendency to separate. Not sure why, but that definitely is a bit annoying. The legs are double jointed, but you wouldn't really be able to tell that they were double jointed. In fact, it's quite hard to tell that they're jointed at all. And then feet go forwards, backwards, kind of side to side, not too bad. And well, we'll also rotate around a bit. So overall, let's be honest here, it's essentially a brick. A good looking brick. And now let's get to the good stuff of this machine. Because not only is it a good looking brick, it's a good looking brick with a hell of a lot of accessories. Starting off with what you would standardly expect from a Zaku. The machine gun also has a marking sticker on there and comes with its own dedicated trigger finger hand. Simply pop it in there. And there you go. Your standard machine gun has a movable handle and a movable scope, though this one is I was going to say extremely loose. Well, okay, so sometimes it's extremely loose and other times it kind of found its sweet spot. So you kind of have to fiddle around with it a little bit. It does move. And hey, otherwise you'll just have to use a bit of glue on there. Also, a removable ammo clip. Unfortunately, it's not going to store anywhere. Like I said, those mount hatches were just one big lie. And then simply pop this off and then you can pop in the bazooka. Unfortunately, the handle itself isn't going to move, and because the hands aren't really articulated that well themselves, your shooting post with the bazooka is going to look a bit stale, like a bit on the weird side, like nobody holds a bazooka like that. You do have a movable scope, and well, there's a handle here, but really good luck getting him to really hold on to it. I mean, you can kind of pretend like this and then just have it up like that, but as you can see, the holding hand is rectangular. This here is also rectangular, but the wrong way, so that's not going to hold on to it. All you can do is have him like this and pretend like, hey, yeah, he's holding on to it. Honest. Now, one piece of good news you've probably already seen, you can actually jam the bazooka in this hand. And you could kind of do it with the machine gun too. You could put a machine gun in the left holding hand, but then you're gonna have to cut it up a bit. The the bazooka works just fine. So you can have him dual wield his weapons, and that is always a great thing if you can do that. And just to clarify, the hand on the bazooka is actually a second trigger finger hand. We get one for the bazooka and one for the machine gun. So that's really cool. That means we don't have to crack open the hand every time we want him to hold the other accessory, wearing out the hand instantly. Now let's put that back in there and go on with the rest that we're getting. Now, one quick disclaimer for anyone who's watching this review and thinking, oh, this thing looks fantastic. I'm going to go buy the combo set with the ground Gundam. Well, the accessories I'm going to be showing from now on are exclusive to this set and are not included with the ground Gundam. So, the first thing new that we're getting is the Heat Hawk. Your standard looking Heat Hawk, quite green, would have been cooler if it was in gray, but hey, not too bad. Though there is one thing about this Heat Hawk that really annoys the hell out of me. And that is the peg. Remember how I said that there weren't any holes on his side skirts? Well, apparently whoever designed the Heat Hawk kind of forgot about that. Or maybe the guy who was supposed to put the holes on the side skirts kind of forgot about the holes. Because, you know what's really fun? Having two stickers pointing to non-existent hardpoints and having a peg for that same non-existent hardpoint. You know the one big saving grace? when we put it in the hand, there we go. It actually kinda works. When you find a sweet spot, he actually holds onto his Heat Hawk a lot better than like half of the existing Zakus. Just beautiful. And then of course, what is also quite unique for this set is, like I've already said in the beginning, the ability to not just make the F-type, not just make J-type, but also the F-type. And technically also the S-type, because yes, we are getting the Commander Antenna, which is also included with the Ground Gundam combo pack. But all of the F-type, all the other F-type stuff isn't. So we have a different shield. This one is the usual Zaku shield without the spikes and a lighter shade of green. Then something that you don't immediately notice, the arms, because we actually get completely different lower arms. The big difference is this bottom part here is a bit thicker than the rest of the arm. Here it's just a smooth line going down, where here it sticks out a bit. Not a big difference, but it is there. And then the final big difference, I really like this attention to detail down here. On the F-type, the J-type I mean, we just have these plates covering the legs, you know, kind of prevent dust from getting in there. But on the F/S type, we have thrusters. And this really reminds me of the old Master Grade of Char Zaku, where this was kind of the differentiating factor between his machine and the normal Zakus, from what I can remember. So that is really nice. I mean, some customization and some actual differences between the F-type and the J-type. So that's really, really cool. The final really cool feature this thing has is, just quickly gonna pop up the head, and when you remove the chest plate, it will actually reveal a full cockpit. As you can see, a nicely detailed chair there for the pilot, and then here you have some mechanical things there. Unfortunately, it's only the seat and there's no pilot in there, but still, that is some really nice attention to detail. And if you're planning on making some kind of diorama, that is really awesome. You can just cut that out and pretend that the cockpit has been opened. That's really cool. Oh, and in case anyone is wondering, no, the mono eye does not move. The only way you can make it move is, well, if you stick the sticker a bit more to the left or a bit more to the right. A quite permanent solution for that. As always, the inevitable question is, do you want to buy this? And well, for 800 yen, I would have to say that this is a pretty damn good deal. And really, if you look at everything we're getting, the weapons, and especially the ability to make both the J and the F-type, and technically also the S-type, even though it's unmentioned. So we're getting a lot of stuff. However, there is one thing I have to say, and it does kind of depend on what you're looking for. This set can either be fantastic and absolutely amazing, or it can be absolute shit for you. Just gonna put it like that because that is how it is, all depending on what you're looking for. And I think you can probably already guess where I'm going with this. If you just want a great looking machine with some nice customization options and with the standard weapons, then yes, this set is gonna be awesome. For 800 yen, you're gonna have your play value, you can change some things around. It's gonna be fantastic. It looks great, all the detail. I love how the detail looks. You have that opening cockpit, which, well, opening. You can reveal the cockpit, let's put it like that. So that is all fantastic. However, as great looking as it is a brick. A brick with accessories, a brick that looks great, but a brick nonetheless. So that means that if you have to choose between either the newer Zaku 2 or the old Zaku 2, well, the real key question is, how important is articulation? If you really want articulation, you're probably better off going for the newer one. Even though it's not nearly as detailed, you're not really getting as much options per se. If you're going for the standard one, you do get the extra missile launchers on the leg, so technically purely for weapons you're getting more, but as far as actual accessories go, this once again wins out, because you know what this can also do? It has the commander antenna and has the normal head, something that the standard type does not have. So that is once again something this does better than the newer high-grade Universal Sentry. For me personally, this set wins hands down, no questions asked. If I have to choose between this or the high-grade Zaku, the high-grade Universal Sentry one, even if they were the same price, I would still go for this, simply because they look amazing. Much prefer the proportions of this and the overall general look. So then, let's go on with some size comparisons, or maybe one quick thing to point out. It, of course, does not come with a nice dual eye. That is something I put on there myself. So, going on with the size comparisons. Here it is next to the standard size Gym, and then once again next to Char's Zaku 2. As you can see, the Zakus are the same height, but are slightly smaller than the Gym Custom. Talking about bigger, here is next to the Zaku 3. And I've said it before, but somewhere, something went wrong in the production. They went from this to this, to that. Zaku 1, 2, 3. And as always, to wrap up the review, the obligatory Zaku group comparison. Well, that's all for this review, and see you guys next time.